Guys, I'm back with another video to teach you how to build websites with React.js. So in this video we are going to learn how to build a navigation bar which is fully responsive on all the devices. So you can see on screen I have built a sample navigation bar which we are going to build in this video from scratch, and we are going to learn how to make it fully responsive on all devices. So I'll show you a demo of this navigation bar. So you can see on this navigation bar we have a logo, we have few links to different pages of our website, and here we have a burger icon, and this navigation bar is fully responsive on all the devices. I can show you the sample. If I inspect this and if I reduce the screen size of this, so as soon as the screen size goes below where it can fit the entire content on the screen, as soon as it goes below certain width, you can see that all the links are gone, they are hidden. But now you will be able to see all those links when you click on this burger icon. So if I click on this, all these links appear back, and if I click back on this, they disappear. But by default, if I refresh the page on a larger screen, you can see that the navigation bar is totally aligned horizontal. All these links are aligned horizontal, but when we reduce the width, the alignment of all the links changes to vertical, and we are able to only see the links only when we click on the burger icon. So this is a simple project that we are going to build in this video. If you like the videos I make, then subscribe the channel and like this video. Thank you. And stay tuned till the end of the video so you can learn everything about building responsive, not only the navigation bar, but in general, you will learn a lot about how to make websites responsive in React. So guys, I have a fresh React application which is running on my local host 3000, and I also have application that we are going to replicate from scratch. It's running on a local host 3001. So to begin with, we are going to install the packages that we need to build this project. So in this project, basically I'm using only one package which is called React Icons, and this package is being used to have this burger icon here. So we are going to go to code editor and install React Icons and start building this project in our Hello World app. So let's go to the code editor. Let's install React Icons. This is the only package that we are going to need in this project. Now we can start building this project. So let's start building this application now. Let's have a look at the project that we are going to build here. So in this project, basically we have a logo, we have a few links here, and we have a burger icon. So we have three components in our navigation bar. One is logo, and there are few links and a burger icon. So to start with, we are going to build these three components in a pure HTML, and then we are going to apply all the CSS to these three components in order to make them look good on the screen and to make them responsive on all screen sizes. So let's go back to the code editor and start building the HTML for all these three components, and we will be able to see all the changes here on localhost 3000. So let's go back to code editor. So now here you can see we only have a hello world till now. So I'm going to write some HTML here, and along the way I'm also going to explain what exactly I'm writing. So we have one complete div. This entire div is a navigation bar, and inside this we are going to have three components. So let's make one div, and this div we can give a class name as logo. This is our logo that we have seen on the screen. Let's put text here, logo. And the second component we have seen on the screen is a list of links like homepage, about page, contact us. So we are going to make list component for that, and inside this list we can have li tags, and each li tag will be a link to different pages of a website. So I'm going to need 4 links here. I can rename it as home, about, let's name it as shop, contact page. So we have 4 pages, and we have these links within the navigation bar component. Let's enclose this entire list within the div component, so we can assign a class name to it, and later we will be able to write the CSS that we are going to need to format this properly. So to this div we can assign a class name as nav links. So now we got 2 components. We got a logo, we got a navigation links. Now we are going to need a burger icon. So to have a burger icon, we are going to use a package called React Icons, which we have already installed. So we can go to Google and check the documentation of React Icons. So let's go back to the browser and open a new tab. Here we can search React icons, and the first link we see is the documentation of the React icons package. And here we can see a list of icons. There are a lot of icons which are pre-made in this package, which we can just import into our application and use it directly. So for now, I'm just selecting this icon from here, which looks very similar to the burger icon. So on click, I've copied this icon from here. I can go back to the, and here is the syntax. They have shown how to import this icon into the application. So I'm going to copy this from here, and I'll go back to the code editor and I'll paste it here. For the icon name, we have to copy back from the browser. So let's go back to the browser and let's go find the icon that we chose. I can click on it, and the icon is copied on my clipboard. Now I can go back to the code editor and I can replace the icon name here. So we got the suitable icon that we need for the burger icon. So we already got two components. We got the logo on the navigation bar, we got all the links, and below this we are going to add one more div component, and we can give it a class name burger, and inside this we can place our burger icon, which is this component. I'll copy it. Let's copy this properly and close the tag. Let's save it. Now we got all the components that we need on the navigation bar. We can go back to browser and see how our application looks on the front end. So this is how our application looks on the front end. We have a logo, we have all the navigation links, and we have a burger icon, and this is the application that we are trying to replicate. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the size of the logo and the burger icon by using CSS, and then we will make this navigation bar look exactly as we see on the screen. And all this work will be done by using CSS from now on. We have written all the HTML that we are going to need in this project. So let's go back to the code editor and write some CSS, and we will see how we can make it look similar to this. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the size of logo and the burger icon. So I'm going to go to this file app.css, and here I can start writing some CSS for the logo. I'm going to increase the font size to 50 pixels, and for the burger icon, let's increase the font size to 50 pixels. Okay, let's save it and let's see how it looks on the front end. So now we can see the sizes have increased. The logo size has increased, and the size of the burger icon is also increased. So now the next change I'm going to do is, you can see here on the links that we have a bullet tabs here, but in the original application we don't have any bullets. We don't want to see any bullets on the navigation links. So I'm going to remove this bullet points. This is again I'm going to do using CSS. So let's go back to app.css. So the class name that we have used for the links is nav links, and let's go back to app.js and see if we are using the, so this is the class name, and we are going to write some CSS to remove the bullet points. So what we can say is inside this class nav links there are li tags, and we want to remove the bullet points on the li tags. So I'm going to apply CSS to li tags. So if I say that list style to none, it will remove all the bullet points. So let's go back on the browser and see. So now we can see all the bullet points have been removed. And the next change we want to do on this application is that we want to align the logo, the navigation bar, and the burger icon horizontally. Now they are stacked on top of each other. They are aligned vertically, and we want to move and change the alignment to horizontal, because here also we have aligned them horizontally on the larger screen. So for this I'm going to apply some CSS again to the nav bar. So on the nav bar, if I change the display to flex and flex direction to row, so this will help in putting all the three elements together horizontally in a single row. So let's save it and let's see how they look on the front end. So now you can see that they are placed horizontally one after another, but we need a lot of space between these three components. So we are going to write some more CSS for that. So in this I can also say that justify content space between. So this will put a space between all the three components. So now you can see they are aligned horizontally, and there is enough space between all three. But you can see that the navigation links are still aligned vertically. So we want navigation links also to be aligned horizontally. So for this I'm going to apply more CSS to the navigation links. So I can say that nav links, I'm going to apply CSS to the unordered list, because all the links are within this UL tag. And again, I'm going to say display flex direction to row, and let's save it. Let's see, alignment has changed from vertical to horizontal, but along with this, we also need some spacing between all the 4 elements. So let's write some more CSS here. We can say the gap between the elements should be around 30 pixels. So now they look much better. So now you can see that we are reaching very close to the original project. So let's compare. So this is the new application that we are building, and this is the original, and they look very close. So all we have done is we have written a simple HTML for all the 3 components, and we applied a CSS to make it look similar to this. But now there are a lot of issues here. It looks good on the larger screen, but if I inspect it and I try to reduce the screen size, you can see that it's not responsive at all. When the screen size goes below the certain width, we are not able to see the entire navigation bar, and this is not a good user experience. Let's see how it looks on the original project. In the original project, if I reduce the screen size, you can see that the navigation bar links have disappeared, but we can see it on click of a button. So definitely we need some more CSS here to make this navigation bar responsive, and let's go and write some CSS for that. So in order to do that, we need to write media queries. So if you don't know about media queries is basically like applying different CSS to different screen sizes. Now the CSS that I've applied here is good enough on the larger screen size, but when screen size go below a certain width, my CSS is kind of failing because I'm not able to see my entire navigation bar on the smaller screen. So I'm going to write a different CSS for the smaller screen size using media query. So let's go back to the code editor, and let's write some media query here. So the first thing I want to change when the screen size goes below 600 pixels is that I want to change the alignment of the links from horizontal to vertical. So what I want is when I reduce the screen size, the alignment of these links change from horizontal to vertical direction like this. So for this, we are going to write some media queries. We can type media query in Google, and in the first link we will be able to find the proper syntax. This is the syntax of the media query. I can copy this and go back to the code editor, and I can copy this media query here, but I need to change the code that I'm going to write within this media query. So as we have seen that we want to change the direction of the nav links from horizontal to vertical. So I'm going to copy this CSS, paste it here, and change the flex direction from row to column. If I do that and save it, so here we are basically saying that whenever the screen size goes below 600 pixels, do not apply this CSS, but instead apply the CSS which is written within the media query. So let's go on the browser and test this. So this we can close all these tabs, and this is our application. Let's refresh it again. So this is how it looks on the larger screen. So you can see that as soon as the screen size is going below 600 pixels, the alignment of the links is changing from horizontal to vertical. This is good. But now in the original application, we can see that these links appear only on the click of the button and on the right side of the screen. They appear right on the very right side of the screen, just below the burger icon. So to achieve this, we can give maybe some margin top and margin left to these nav links. Let's go and try that in the code editor. So maybe I can give margin of 50 pixels and margin left to maybe 80%. Now if I save this and go back to browser, we can see they have shifted quite a lot to the right, and I think it's good enough. So as now we can see that our navigation bar is looking very similar to the original project, but there is still something left to do in this. Let's see what happens when we reduce the screen size. When I'm reducing the screen size, the alignment of the navigation links is changing from horizontal to vertical, and these navigation bars are appearing on the left, which is good. But what we exactly want is we want this navigation links to disappear when I reduce the screen size anywhere below 600 pixels, and they should only appear on a click of a button when I click on the burger icon. So to do that, first of all, I'm going to set the default display of these navigation links to none. So let's go back to the code editor. So here you can see that when the screen size is below 600 pixels, our display is flex. So let me set it to none. Let's save it. Now we can see on the screen that they have disappeared. So when I reduce the screen size, they have disappeared. But now what we want is when we click on this button, they should appear back again at the bottom of this burger icon. So for this, we need to put a on-click function here, and we need to write some JavaScript to set this display to back to flex on a click of a button. So I will go to app.js and I will put the on click function on my burger icon. So on click, there is a function called handle click, which we are going to define it here. So here on handle click, I'm writing some code here. It says that in this code, basically we are fetching the element by ID called navlinks, and we have assigned a ID to this UL tag, which is navlinks. So we are accessing this UL element, and we are basically trying to get the styling of this element, the display. We are trying to get this display property of the UL element. So this is basically none. So in this line, I'm fetching the element, I'm computing the style, and here I'm console logging the display property of the style. Let's save it and let's go back to the code editor, and let's go back to the browser and see if we can see this property there. Let's save it. So if I click on this, I can see that the display is currently none, and that's why I'm not able to see the nav links here. But if we set this display back to flex, they will appear back again on a click of a button. So let's do that. So I will say if my computed style.display is equal to none, I'm going to set it to flex. Let's try. So there is some error. Clearly, this is not the way it will work. So what we can do is we can simply say that element dot style is equal to display flex. Let's see if it works. Let's refresh it again. Now it's gone because by default the value is none. If I click on this, it comes back again. But now the value is changed to flex. So we also want that when I click back on it again, it should again disappear. So it should toggle. If I click on it, it appears, and if I click on it again, it again disappears. So to do that, we can write else statement here. So if this is equal to none, I set it to flex. Otherwise, I set it back to none. Let's save it. Let's try this. Refresh the browser. Now if I click on this, the navigation bar appears at the bottom. If I click back, it goes away. So this is something we were trying to achieve in this project. Now you can see that our navigation bar is completely responsive on every kind of screen. So on the largest screen, it looks like this. And if I reduce the screen size below the 600 pixels, the navigation bar looks like this. We just see logo and the burger icon. But if I click on the burger icon, these icons appear at these links appear at the bottom. So guys, if you like this video, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.